we just had you on a few episodes ago and we were all like singing the praises of Grand Slam and its success. But what the heck has happened since then?
From the explanations I've seen from CEO Michael Johnson in public, he seems to be finding a lot of really fancy ways to say that they ran out of money. That seems like the bottom line. The details he gave was that if they had gone through with this event, given the lease agreement they had with Drake Stadium at UCLA, and given just the cost of flying athletes in and paying the winners, they would have lost $2 million. They didn't feel like losing $2 million. And so they decided to cancel the event. But a couple of things like people need to remember about sports startups is that you have to be prepared to lose money. It does not matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how well known the league is. Like if the three of us somehow come into $6 billion and manage to buy an expansion NFL team, that expansion NFL team is going to lose money in its first few years. You have to be ready for that. So either they weren't ready to lose money or they weren't ready to lose that amount of money. But again, just the explanation sounds like a really, really fancy way of saying we ran out of money. We thought we had money for four big track meets. We had money for three big track meets.
I mean, I've been an ardent supporter of the Grand Slam. You see, I got my Grand Slam shirt on, the one that I got from
Nice.
Philadelphia.
Nice.
I'm still a big supporter of the league, and I'm a believer. But I gotta agree, it's a little strange the way that it came out, and we haven't got a lot of details. And so I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful, but at the same time, I can't doubt if people have some skepticism towards the future of the league, but they make decisions to benefit the league in the long run. And I think this is just another one of those. And if it turns out that next year things are even better, they learn from this year and they grew, we're going to look back at this like it was just a growing pain and a stepping stone towards building the foundation for a healthy league in the future.
So MJ puts out the statement. He's like, oh, in full transparency, I want to be transparent. But like transparency was not in the room with him or any of us. Like we still don't really know exactly, like we're speculating. Morgan, do we need transparency? Do sport fans deserve transparency? Like what do you take about him not saying exactly what it was?
Well, you know who's going to need full transparency next season is the group of athletes that they target to try to sign up to commit as racers for next season. Because like scrolling through Instagrams, which is what we all do all day, guys, when we're not working, just for the audience out there. We're just like you. We're just on Instagram all day. But Grand Slam Track is posting, they're posting, it is an Instagram feed of somebody who misses their ex. Because it's all these posts now of, oh, a year ago today we were signing Sidney McLaughlin. 9 months ago today we were signing Kenny Bednarik, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if those athletes were not on multi-year deals, to go back to Sidney McLaughlin Levrone, to go back to Kenny Bednarik and say, hey, commit to us for another 4 big track meets for another season, when they ran out of money the first year, they are going to need some transparencies. They are going to have to take all that prize money, all the travel expenses and everything else, put it in escrow and let people see that it is there before people sign up. I would think, like Aaron, if I was you, I would say, hey, look, I need half that money up front. Show it to me, and don't give me a check. Don't give me a bank draft. I need that
Straight cash, homie.
Straight. Right, I need that
Bring
in
in
a
a
briefcase.
briefcase. Yeah.
Show me the briefcase and we can talk.
Yeah. I mean, look, you're right. There's going to be some hesitance from the athletes that want to sign on as racers. But as long as the check clears for this first round, these first 3 meets, the people that did sign on as racers, they get their appearance fees. I think everybody will be okay. That will assuage some of the fears that people are building up right now. And of course, there's a lot of FUD going around, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And people are getting their jokes off. That's what the internet's for. So we go to the social media for the comedy, for the banter. But at the end of the day, business is business, and this is a startup league. They're gonna figure it. I have hope still. Now, if that check doesn't clear, I might change my tune.
So wait, AB, are you saying the haters are not vindicated right now? Are you saying that they are not like, look, see, I told you so? Like, not saying Noah Lyles, but the others. What do you think?
I mean, look, Jay-Z said it best. We all lose when the family feuds, right? So at the end of the day, what do you gain to benefit by doubting the Grand Slam? We go back to the status quo, which was very meager prize purses for the athletes, not a lot of control, not a lot of excitement. The status quo wasn't looking great for the future of track and field. So it, I don't understand why we would want to be on that side of the fence. Like, we could be optimistic. Maybe you're like, hey, I don't know if it's going to work, whatever. But voicing that and being a vocal opponent of the league, I just don't understand how that benefits you if you're an athlete.
It doesn't benefit you as an athlete, but you're talking like a man who does not understand track fans. I talk about this all the time. Nobody hates track and field more than track fans do, and track fans love something to complain about. I'm going back and forth. This is just how track fans are. So yeah, you show them something new, they complain.
You know what?
You show them something old, they complain. It is very difficult to please that group of people, and this is the bind that anybody promoting and organizing and investing in track and field on this continent is in, because you have a mainstream that is sort of indifferent to track and field except for a couple weeks every 4 years, and the hardcores are just so, God bless them, they love the sport, but they're also so cynical that they're just used to poking holes in everything that comes along, and that's very, 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 very tight needle to thread.
And that
I would just
go ahead, AB.
sorry, real quick, I would just challenge that anybody that is against the league and is doing victory laps saying like, see, I told you so, I told you so. At the very least, if the Grand Slam never resurrected, if this is all we got the blueprint of what could be for the sport. And another league can come in with their funds and do the same thing, but better. And, do we get an Athlos? Do we get the Ultimate Track League that's coming next year in 2026? Do we get Diamond League Plus events where they're giving a little bit more prize and money if we don't have this competition from the Grand Slam changing things up and shaking up the status quo? So at the very least, we got that. There's a blueprint, there's a model out there that there could be this higher level of track and field in the pro track and field from Grand Slam, and they gave us the blueprint. So
Okay, last question. We don't have a lot of time, but you both gave midterm grades last time. We kind of lost the whole meet, so I guess this is the end of the term. But what grade do each of you now give Grand Slam based on the 3 meets and also the cancellation? We're going to factor that in. And also, quickly, yes or no, will it be back next year and better than ever? Aaron.
Okay, I gave it an A- last time, and that was the halfway grade. Now that we lost a meet, I have to come down a bit.
Deduct points.
But I have to deduct a little bit, just a little bit. I'm going down to a B+.
Oh, good.
I didn't go down much because
Too
I'm
bad.
still a believer. I still believe that the model that they showed is the future of track and field. I love the way that they were very athlete-centric. It made us, those are the closest thing we got to a union in track and field, because they actually listened to the feedback of the athletes. They're very athlete-centric, and they made sure that we felt, all of us, not just the headliners, all of us that were running, we all felt like professional athletes in the sport. They took the feedback, they changed, they adapted, and they made moves for the sustainability of the league, which makes me very optimistic, which goes to your second point. Are they going to be back next year? I think so. I think yes. If they weren't concerned with the future, they would have had that 4th league, maybe went broke, went under, and then there's no future for us even possible. But now the fact that they said, okay, let's cancel this 4th meet, even though it's going to make us look terrible, we're going to be concerned with the long-term health of this league, and that makes me bullish on the Grand Slam.
Well, you don't have that 4th meet, because if you already understand you're gonna be $2 million in the red, going ahead with that 4th meet is a very good way to get sued, and nobody wants that. My grade for Grand Slam track obviously is incomplete, and if Grand Slam track is the high school student, they're the student with all kinds of potential, but they don't really prioritize school, and you just got to pull them aside and say, look, young man, the sky could be the limit for you, but you got to apply yourself. You got to be a little bit more strategic about what you're doing. You got to watch who you're hanging around. So my prescription for Grand Slam track is summer school, and after 6 weeks spent sweltering summer school, pulling up the grades, maybe they can come back next year and make some B+ and A-.
But all the great entrepreneurs of our time have dropped out of school. So there's always that.
That's the point. That's the point. Okay, we got to leave it there. Morgan Campbell, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.